I'll tell you a story of a soldier named Dan. Went out to fight the good fight in South Vietnam. Went out to fight for peace, for liberty and all. Went out to fight for equality. Oh, let's go. And the war drags on. Last night poor Dan had a nightmare, it seems. One thought kept occurring and reoccurring in his dreams. Cities full of people, burning, screaming, shouting loud. And right there overhead, a great orange mushroom cloud. And the war.
And remember, keep it country, and if you get it,
take it twice!
yuppie!
Hello everybody, welcome to Cole's Place. My name's Colin, great to have you along and thanks for tuning in to another video. It is time for Ask Me Anything. I'll do a quick pan round and I'll show you where I am. I am up in the hills. Take a look at this. Okay, I'm up in the mountains of Tenerife. I'm in a village called Santiago El Teide. Absolutely beautiful, check it out. The temperature, according to my finger on the phone, is about 10 degrees. It feels really cold compared to where I have been. And I'm about to introduce the subject for this Ask Me Anything. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only man himself, Dan, the Craicmaster.
I like to be called the subject.
Good to see you, Dan.
Good to see you too, bro.
Yeah, and thanks for doing this for us.
No problem at all. Welcome to Santiago El Teide.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's even got its own building site. So what we'll do, Dan, if you don't mind, we'll have a 20-minute walk. It's Ask Me Anything, so basically I ask you a series of questions. Nothing too bad, nothing too bad. All I want you to do is just answer them as honestly as you can.
I will, try my best.
If you don't want to answer anything, just wing it and don't answer it.
Turn to fifth on that one.
Yeah, but we'll have fun. Okay, so let's make a start.
Let's do it.
Right, okay, so Dan, I always start off, because you're Tenerife based, I'm in the UK,
Yeah.
and a load of my subscribers, they won't know who you are,
Okay.
or how I know you. So I'll give my version of who you are, and then you tell them who you are.
Okay, no bother.
Okay, so this is Dan. He's a YouTuber, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Not even part-time.
Not even part-time. But he's a very busy man. He runs a company called Tenerife First Excursions and Tenerife First Quads. So they're based in Tenerife. You're originally from, I know it's Ireland, but
yeah, the northwest of Ireland, a place called Roscommon.
Roscommon. And how long have you been in Tenerife?
I've been in Tenerife, I think, roughly about 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, he provides excursions. So if you come to the island, he's a man you need to see. He's an all-round good guy. Everybody knows him in the YouTube community on there, on Tenerife, and we're going to find out a little bit more about him, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, good man.
I'm a bit nervous, to be honest with you.
No, you're fine, you're fine. Okay, Dad, so you tell them who you are. I've told them who I know you are.
Well, I'm an Irish man from the northwest of Roscommon. I moved to Tenerife 11 years ago. I grew up in Roscommon. I went to Boyle School, the same school that, if you might remember the IT crowd, Chris O'Dowd went to the same class as me. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do drugs. I don't know what else to say about me. I'm watch yourself there, don't walk into the chair. That would be a bit of a disaster.
Don't get taken out by a
Colin
chair.
falling over. Yeah, and as Colin said, I have a business here in Tenerife, Tenerife First Excursions. I don't want us to become an advert, so
no.
They're just and the quads as well, two companies that I'm involved in, and we're just looking now because we're going to be taken out by palm trees. And yeah, that's a bit about me, a small smidging. I'm guessing that Colin's questions might tell you a bit more, so...
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Jesus. Go on then.
Here we go. Right, mate, okay, first question.
Okay.
Okay, and a few people have asked me to ask you this.
Oh,
I thought
I've got to go.
I thought people had already know, because I'm sure you've said it.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 43 years old.
That's 43.
43.
40.
Or if you're from London, mate, it's 43.
So you've been here 11 years, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were born in Roscommon.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go right back to the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Your childhood.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
I have one older sister and one younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oshin is my younger brother and Emma is my older sister.
And they're still
Hello.
they're still in Ireland.
Yeah, they're still in Ireland. They both live in, well, Oshin lives near Limerick and my sister lives in Limerick City.
Okay. Describe your upbringing.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so my upbringing, my parents were hippies. They moved from, there you go, interesting one.
Yeah.
They moved from the UK to Ireland before I was born. And they were like aliens landing in the northwest of Ireland when hippies weren't like the done thing. They had a horse and carts. They went what is cool now. They went the whole organic thing, and they had goats and they grew their own veg and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
And I was a vegetarian, I think, roughly till the age of about 10 years old. So I grew up. My parents did their best in the sense that they worked very hard to provide us with food and clothes and all that sort of stuff. We never had a lot of money, but we were taught good values and the way to treat people kind and in a decent way. I always felt different growing up because we were a uniform. You know, a uniform is always the same color, but our uniforms were always slightly different because they were either second hand or they were never the same, because my parents obviously didn't have a lot of money, but what they did was the very best for us, you know. So from an early age I always kind of felt a bit different, didn't feel like I fitted in with everyone else, and so
not a bad childhood then?
No, not a bad childhood.
No. Different?
Different, but in the end I struggle with the differences, and probably from the age of 13 I started getting into drugs.
I'll talk about that in a minute if you don't mind.
Well, that's a little bit about my upbringing, where I grew up from.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, he's got more dodgy questions.
Now we're getting there. Right, okay, so
digging deep.
So your parents there, you could say they were ahead of the time, being the hippie organic upbringing.
It's a kind of cool thing to do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back then it was very strange, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'd never thought that of you.
There you go.
Yeah. I had this image of you growing up on a farm.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a farm.
Or playing songs around the piano.
On a tractor.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. So then fast forward. So we're going back to the 11-year thing now. How long you've been on the island? Now, what you've just described is very different to living in Tenerife.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did you just like get on a plane one day and think, I've got to go to Tenerife?
That's a fairly good question now. 2008 was kind of the time when the economic collapse happened in Ireland. Well, it happened all over the world.
Yeah.
I was working as an architect. I was working at a DJ company. I had 4 DJs working for me.
Yeah.
I was DJing myself and was earning good money. And then all of a sudden, boom, the economy collapsed.
Yeah.
DJing, how much you were getting paid to DJ dropped. I think you might recall that. Like, I'd be getting for 3-4 hours €300 for the night.
Yeah.
Now you're probably getting about half that.
Yeah.
And then I lost my job in the architecture, and lots of people lost their jobs in architecture. So I started doing, just DJing at the weekends.
Yeah.
And I was still keeping roughly around the same money, but it started to drop off because the clubs weren't doing the same business and they wanted to cut down our wages.
Yeah.
And I then said, you know what, I'm going to start doing another job. So I started looking for a job, and I got an interview to be door-to-door sales. Yeah.
Right.
So I started doing door-to-door sales. A lot of people that would scare the bejesus out of them, but I actually loved it. I love going around knocking on people's doors, meeting them, chatting to them, and selling them stuff. Like I was selling internet basically.
I was going to say, what did you sell?
I was selling internet, good quality internet.
Yeah.
Actually for 3 mobile, and
These yours?
no, they're not my clients. Oh. So I started selling that. So I started selling the internet, and I got really good. Became top seller in the country. Became a supervisor, then a manager. And but I'd already decided. I worked for the year, and I decided I'm going to Lanzarote. my girlfriend at the time, she was studying as a hotel manager.
Yeah.
And she had to do a year's placement in Spain.
Right.
So she said she wanted to go to Lanzarote. What were we going to do? I said, you know what, I'll go with you. I went from not being able to scuba dive,
Yeah.
to being an instructor in a year.
Oh.
Watch the step here.
Yeah.
And went to Lanzarote and worked as a dive instructor for about a year and a half. And fell in love with the islands. And came back here in between. My mother was very sick at the time.
Yeah.
Moved back here to Ireland, and spent about 8 months working again as a sales manager.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. Hated the weather, couldn't deal with it anymore. Because I got such a good taste of a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
That going back to, you know,
Yeah.
to the rain and that for me
Yeah.
was very hard.
Yeah.
And I started getting really depressed. And my mother said, you're not happy here.
Yeah.
You need to get off the island. You need to go back to the sunshine.
Yeah.
So I took a job here working as an operations manager. Well, initially a project manager for a translation company that worked for Mercedes.
Right.
And then I worked up to operations manager. Worked for that for 6.5 years. Got fed up and left the job and started Tenerife First Excursions. Bought my first
Wow.
excursion shop in Pueblo Canario, which you know,
Yeah.
where Kim works.
Yeah.
And then expanded from there. So that's kind of a quick synopsis. We'll make it quick, but a synopsis of how I ended up where I am today. Like.
So what year did you open the first shop then?
It was 4 years ago, roughly.
Oh, 4 years, huh? I thought it was a bit longer than that.
2019,
Nice.
right?
All right, fair
I think
enough.
2019, yeah, 2019. And within about 8 months, I had 2 more shops.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit,
Yeah.
and that brought me to the shops to the knees. I got rid of 2 of them, and like was contemplating going back to Ireland to work somehow, because I didn't know when the tourism come back. I was actually reading a post today, and I've forgotten who was John Barrow. I think it was John Barrow dropped a post on, because we won the Traveller's Choice, and he dropped on the post saying, I remember sitting with me and Lee was over and we were having a chat, and I was just saying, I really don't know if I'm going to come back from this. I don't know if but I said I'm going to give everything I can to be bigger and better than I was the last time.
Yeah.
And luckily it worked out in the end. So
That's how it's going.
yeah.
So you're doing well now?
Yeah, really well.
Good.
I went from literally initially me in the shop on my own doing 12 hours, then Kim coming back.
Yeah.
To now I think we have 16 employees.
Good.
In Tenerife First Excursions, and then obviously with the quads we've another 6 employees as well. So
all right.
So it's a big change from where it was, literally battling to kind of stay open, you know.
But in a short space of time, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. But it also goes down to a lot of the stuff with the YouTube to help with Lee and different people like yourself, and people just a lot of loyal customers and people just with big hearts that have come along and all the team that work for me, like
they're all good.
They're really nice people. They've got good hearts, they've got good souls, and I see their lives getting better working with the business.
Yeah.
And they're, as far as I can see, they're happy working for the company.
Yeah.
And we try and keep a nice, friendly work environment, and where people can be happy as and not feel like they're coming into a place where they're not appreciated or they've got a tyrant or something as a boss. You know what I mean?
I don't think they think that.
No. But I want. You know, if there's a problem, I talk to them. Like we're all giving up time, which is the most precious currency to do our jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to treat people badly. I'm gonna, if they do something wrong, I'll have a chat. But like, it's never going to be something in a bad way.
No, I know what you mean. They're not working in a call centre where they're getting slapped hands every
No.
Friday.
At the end of the day, we're all striving together to be the best business that we can. And you know, every one of us, I think, is proud to be part of the company. Like, and we're all proud to have that award that we just won. You know, and that's important. Like, so.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, no bother.
Okay, so it's Ask Me Anything. Now these questions, some of them I call handshakers, because the 5 or 6 seconds before I ask them, my hands start shaking.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And you're the big lad, right?
And I have a black belt in origami.
Exactly. So you're doing well.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the business up and running back after COVID. How much are you worth?
Oh, how much am I worth?
Yeah.
I'd love to know myself. I don't know how do you value what you're worth? You know?
Okay. Let's put it a simple way for the viewers. If you were to liquidate everything, sell everything you've got tomorrow, how high would your mountain of cash be?
It depends on what someone's going to pay for it, bro. You know, so.
Good answer.
I don't know.
Are you a millionaire?
I don't think I don't know. It's hard to know. I don't.
Danny, a millionaire?
No. No, but that's honest. I don't think I'd have to have $1 million in my bank, and I don't have $1 million in my bank. You know what I mean? So
that's fair
I have.
But you're comfortable.
Do you know what it is? Right? I don't worry about stuff.
Yeah.
My rent, I don't worry about. I don't have a house yet. My plan is to buy a house outright. I don't want a mortgage.
Yeah.
And that's just my own personal preference.
Yeah.
Maybe I do get a mortgage in the future, but at the moment I don't want a mortgage. I want to get the money together to just buy a house outright.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Am I better than what I used to be? Like, yes. I don't have to worry about things. I used to have to count money all the time. I used to be always worried about paying bills. Am I going to have enough money? So now if I need something, I just buy it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. The biggest thing I treat myself was that car that I bought recently.
Yeah.
And I love it. And it's just a little toy for myself. And so I don't worry about money. But I don't think I'm a millionaire. I don't know.
Do you want to be a millionaire?
I have a goal. Yeah. And I always say to people, right? I say to people around me, I said, if you want to achieve something in your life, talking about it is maybe going to do it, unlikely. Dreaming about it is a good thing, but putting action into place. So I want to retire when I'm 50 and really comfortably with a couple of houses bought. And I'd love to travel. You know,
while you're young enough to appreciate it and be able to work properly. No, I get that.
Just I just think I have a plan which involves growing different businesses to a point where, like, people ask me, well, you know, what about this business? And I say, well, is it a business? Are you buying a business or a job?
Yeah.
If you're buying a job, which means that you need to be there all the time, then that's one thing. But if you're buying a business that you grow, like the quads at the moment that I'm growing, that I can have someone in to run it for me, like for example Matty and Tenerife First Excursions, then I own a business. It doesn't own me. So I'm not owning a job. So that's my aim with most things, you know, is to get to that point. You know?
That's a good ethic to have. You're not living to work. It's the other way around a little bit, isn't it?
You want to go this way?
Yeah, whatever you. I don't know my way.
Square here.
I don't know my way around.
Just watch yourself here. We're all good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we touched on this before. So you've described your childhood, which, you know, sounds quite organic. You know, your parents were obviously ahead of the time, unknowingly. And now you've got your life here. But then there's that bit in between, Dan, that I want to ask you about. You said something happened at 13.
So I struggled with emotions, struggled with dealing with people, struggled with who I was. I didn't like who I was.
At 13?
Yeah, I was ashamed of myself, man.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't feel good about myself. Something happened to me in my childhood, which I don't really want to go into, like, but which kind of damaged me in a way, and I then kind of recoiled into myself and stopped feeling good about myself. Didn't like the world around me. Stopped feeling, you know, just didn't want. The best way I can say it, I had a dis-ease with myself, you know. I wasn't at ease. I didn't like my own skin. I didn't feel comfortable with who I was. So for me, I didn't know what the solution for that was. For me, I thought the solution was outside things. So I found drugs and alcohol.
What drugs?
I started with smoking weed. Alcohol, which I personally consider a drug. It's just a legal one. A liquid drug. And then obviously ecstasy, cocaine, all those things that I've got into all of those and partied hard for, not at that age of 13, probably in 16, 17 I started getting into the class A's.
I'm trying to work out the years here. It was the 80s.
Probably about 17 to 20. You're talking the 90s, dance music, you know, all the Cafe Del Mar, all that whole scene on Cornwall, all that, you know, back then. And the biggest one for me was ecstasy. So I took a lot of ecstasy. I was taking it during the day, I was taking it in the morning, I was taking it at night. I was just a mess all the time, and I kind of lost a huge part of myself. And obviously then I went to a point where it was either do something different or die or go to prison.
Did you get in trouble?
I was regularly arrested by the police.
What for?
Well, one particular situation where I was in a bar in my hometown, and they were arresting me for dealing because someone had told the police there was a drug dealer, you know, and I was selling drugs. Now I wasn't some sort of cartel gangster dude that, you know, was making millions. I was broke. I was feeding my own addiction.
Just funding your own habit. Yeah.
And so for me it was like I was doing this to fund my addiction, and I got arrested one night. I got arrested a few nights, got pulled out of places and strip searched. I was never caught with enough to put me in prison.
What did your parents think to that? Because you got these two sort of quite free living.
But they changed, like that was their childhood, you know what I mean? They were young at that stage. When they got older, my dad wasn't into that anymore. My dad's a very educated man, very intelligent man, hard working guy. He was just concerned. He didn't really know what was going on with me, where I was at. My mother was really confused. She found it really hard. She'd been called into the police station quite a few times. She was told what I was doing. I convinced her otherwise. I was very good at manipulating her and lying, saying that I wasn't doing that. And she wanted to, obviously, very easy to help her believe that, because at the end of the day, she wanted to believe her son was a lovely guy.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it was easy for me to manipulate that to make her feel like that I wasn't doing those things. For example, she was told I was a drug dealer. I told her that I was getting all the money together, all my friends, because they didn't know where to get the drugs, and I was going to buy a big load of drugs and then dishing them out. So that kind of made it sound like I wasn't a drug dealer. So it was my manipulation of making her feel like I wasn't a drug dealer. So it was a lot of that, and they were very baffled by, they just seen me very unwell, and they were very worried. Like, I stopped talking to my mother for about 2 months before I was driving around on motorcycles with no insurance. I was out my brain all the time, and they were just generally worried. And luckily a guy that I was working for, I say working, I turn up on a Wednesday because I was partying all the time. He was more like a treatment center, you know. He was that kind of, he was kind of employing people that were struggling in life. And he took me aside one day and he said, "Look, do you think your life's unmanageable?" And he said, "Look, there's an open meeting of a 12-step program. I won't tell you which fellowship, because obviously it's anonymous." He said, "Do you want to come to this open meeting?" And it was a Saturday night. I thought to myself, well, I have two options. I go to the meeting, or I go and go party. And I thought to myself, you know, I'll go to the meeting and then I'll party afterwards. So I went to the meeting, and that was the last time I ever used. Like,
did you go to party after?
No, that was it. To this day, I haven't taken a drug.
No.
And that's 23 years on the 6th of August.
So
no drink.
What was it in that meeting that made you decide not to go to the party?
Well, because when I went to, before I went to the meeting, I actually thought like that I was just a mess up, like I was just going to be a failure all my life, and that's what I was. I was a failure, and that's all I'd ever be. That it was something wrong with me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I heard at this meeting that I had an illness, and there was people there that had the same illness, and they were changing their lives. So I was like, okay, so there's a solution here.
How old were you at this point?
I was 20.
20.
I said, there's a solution here. I says, I'll keep coming to these meetings and see if it works for me. And it worked, and it still works.
How long were you going to them for, if you don't mind asking?
I'm still going to them now. Still go to them now.
It's an ongoing thing.
Still, myself and a friend of mine, we started the same meetings here on the island in English speaking, in Tenerife. On the 6th of August this year, it'll be 23 years since that meeting. It'll be 23 years clean.
That way or that way?
No, we'll go that way and we walk up the past the trees.
So,
it'll be 23 years. It's 23 years since then, basically, on the 6th of August.
Well, that's a massive story to tell, mate. I commend you for being so open about that. There's not many people who would, especially to an audience online, do you know? I know you've been quite open about it on your own channel in the past. But yeah, that's massive, and I really appreciate that. Do you ever worry that you're going to hit back, something happens to you? Let's say, for example, COVID, you mentioned before, when the business suffered. Do you ever worry something will trigger you? And...
Well, so here's the crack, right? This fella told me a long time ago, he says to me, he says, and I'm going to use an analogy, right? Easy for you to say. So he said, there's a sailor sailing a ship, yeah? He's out in the ocean, yeah? And they're sailing, and every day he gets down on his knees and prays. And I'm not talking about God, I'm just talking about what I need to do. So, gets down and prays, and they're all laughing at him and say, what are you praying for? Everything's grand. Every day he prays, yeah? And then a storm starts, and they're all panicking. They're running around the boat. They don't know what to do. And he's there calm at the head of his ship, just standing there, steering it, calm as day. And they say, get down and pray. He says, I've done my praying. I just need to steer the ship. And because he consistently done what he needed to do, when the storm hits, he was able to deal with it. And that for me is, I consistently keep doing what I need to do. I get my meetings, I meditate, I pray, I do all the things that are personal to me, that are good, important for me and my own mental health. And when the storm hits, I have the tools to deal with it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does absolutely make sense. There's a big lesson there, isn't there? There's a message there.
Like now, I'm under a lot of pressure, new business, all that sort of stuff. There's a lot going on. Now, some people might fold and panic. I know I have moments of stress, and I feel like exploding, but I know it's going to be all right. Just keep doing what you have to do. Do the right thing. I get up every morning, I do a silent meditation. I do the things that I need to do to keep the mental health right.
No, fair play to you. And I mean, you sort of led me into my next bit there. What do you do to relax?
What do I do to relax?
Because I'm not being funny. Every time I come in the shop, you're running around like a proverbial fly.
What do I do to relax?
There must be something. What's your guilty pleasure? Do you eat a bar of chocolate?
I love chocolate, I have to say. That is a guilty pleasure. But to relax, I probably like chilling on the couch, watching an old movie. I like boxing. I've kind of gone off it in the last while because I don't know. Maybe it's age. I don't know. I don't have that same kind of testosterone getting in. I just feel like, I'm not.
Energy.
Yeah, that could be it as well. I like going out for food with friends.
Yes.
Do you know, it's one of my favourite things is, I used to love going out to clubs and all that, but I love going out because you're all sitting around. You've got nice food in front of you. And you can talk to each other.
Conversation.
And there's a bit of crack. You know, I love that. I love that.
At your age.
Say no.
You know what I mean?
23.
23. 23 with 22 years.
23 with 20 on top. With 20 change.
What's your favourite food?
I don't know. It's a very good question. I actually love burgers. I love a good burger.
Where do you recommend in Tenerife for a burger?
I'd say in the south of Tenerife, Lucky Sevens.
We were there the other night. I went to Ned Craft Beer over the road. You want to try there?
It's good, is it? Yeah.
Oh, they're banging.
I'll have to check it out.
Literally over the road, Ned Craft Beer.
And I love the vegan burgers in Buena Vida, in Fania Bay Plaza. Absolutely beautiful. Like smashing burgers. So
nice one. All right, I'm going to touch on somebody special in your life, Sahar.
How
long have you been together?
We've been together 6 years.
Going to marry her?
That's the plan. We're engaged.
Does she know?
she knows she's got an engagement ring on her.
I know. I'm only messing. So, is there a date sort of arranged?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
Okay.
A lot of things have happened over, like COVID happened. Then my mother died last year, which was very traumatic.
That hit you, didn't it? If you don't mind me saying.
It hit me harder than anything's ever hit me in a long time. And Sahar's mother died last year as well. And she couldn't even go back to say goodbye to her mother in Iran because of the whole situation that's going on over there.
There's a thing. Sahar's Iranian, you're Irish.
Never
the twain should meet, really. How did that happen?
It's mad, isn't it? So,
doesn't even happen in the World Cup.
All relationships can be hard and they require work. Ours probably requires a little bit more because we've such different cultures.
Absolutely.
Like in the beginning, the culture difference was insane. Like Sahar's obviously been here longer now, so she's more adapt to the cultures here. But such different mentalities. So very different. Sahar's a very, I want to say without being like, she's innocent in the sense that innocent to the world that's here and the way the world is here. And she wouldn't be as hardened as I am. I don't mean hardened as in hard. I mean as in hardened emotionally and she's a very soft, kind person with a very big soul.
Where I come from, we've got a phrase.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a sort of a boxing analogy.
Yeah.
Punching above your weight. Do you think you're punching above your weight or Sahar?
Looks wise, yeah, for sure.
That was a joke question.
No, seriously, looks wise for sure. Like, she's a beautiful lady.
She is actually, yeah.
And do you know?
You're a good looking man.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I like, you know, I struggle with compliments, right? So I should go, thanks very much, mate. But
when I asked you that, you were meant to call me a cheeky and shove me in the road.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
That was a reaction.
But like, no, lots of people. So obviously with the YouTube, people feel free to get behind their keyboards and leave comments. And it's a regular comment you're punching. Like, yeah, why not? Why not? Reach for the stars.
Absolutely. Think big.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, mate, just some quick questions.
Yeah.
Right, and then I've got a biggie to finish off that I really want to ask you. Right. Okay, so I did this one with Tim.
Yeah.
Tim's answer was the long and winding road. Describe your song. Describe your life in a song title.
Jeez, man, that's not easy, is it?
No.
Jesus. Whoa. You could have sent me that ahead so I could feel the long and windy road.
That was Tim's to shoot question.
That's a very I don't know, mate. Do you know when someone asks that and you've just literally gone blank, trying to even think of a song? You know, help. I need somebody help. Not just anybody help. Oh wow. Do you know what I was?
I bet you'll text me in about a week's time.
Yeah, and tell you what
I've
it
got
is.
the answers to that question.
Do you know Donovan? Do you ever hear of an artist called Donovan?
Yeah, little hippie guy.
Yeah.
Catch the Wind.
My dad used to play that to me when I was younger.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it the last while, and there was a song. Oh, I've gone blank, but it had me at the start of it. As Dan was a soldier, and my dad used to play it to me when I was younger, and he sent me a little audio of him singing it. Which was really
I'll try and find it and
really
edit
special. I'm going to see if I can actually find that audio on this, because yeah, it'd be cool. It's in the group I'm in with my dad.
Some of the other shoot questions I've asked to the other guys who've done this is like, you know, what if? But you've already answered them with your story. You know, if you could turn a clock back one thing you regret, blah 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 blah. You know, so it's difficult to ask, you know, sort of questions because in your life story that you've described back there, you've answered a lot of them that I had lined up for you, mate, to be honest with you. In terms of your business, Tenerife First Excursions, Tenerife First Quads that you've just sort of kicked off now, where do you see that being in 10 years' time? You're still in charge. I know you said you want to retire soon. Are you going to be able to let it go?
I think I'll be able to let it go.
Yeah.
There's two options. I sell it.
Yeah.
I have a person in mind who I would sell it to.
Yeah.
See if you can guess. Put it in the comments below. Or step back from it and, you know, give more control to someone already in the business.
Okay.
And just let the money flow in. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But I would still strive to have the standards kept to the level they are. Fought hard for the business to be in a good place.
Carry on a legacy.
The quads, obviously, best quad company on the island. That's the game plan. At the moment we're only beginning.
Yeah.
We're doing really well. Got lots of good reviews.
Yeah.
People come back with great experience, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's really the goal at the moment.
Do you ever see yourself going back to Ireland to live, or are you here for good?
No,
you're
never
for good.
No, this is my home.
Yeah.
Ireland's in my heart and Tenerife's in my soul.
Yeah.
I got this audio here, I think.
Good answer.
I'll tell you a story of a soldier named Dan.
That's my dad singing.
Your dad?
Fight the good fight in South Vietnam. Went out to fight for peace, for liberty and all. Went out to fight for equality. Let's go. And the war dragged on. Last night poor Dan had a nightmare, it seems. One thought kept occurring and reoccurring in his dreams.
That's my dad, yeah.
I'm gonna have to hope that picks up. If not, you'll have to send me a snippet.
I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
But that is my dad.
He's got a sweet voice.
He has a great singer. He used to sing to us when we were younger. And
can you sing?
I could sing when I was younger. I used to recite poetry when I was younger, and I used to sing a bit. I can't sing anymore. But my dad used to get me to stand up in bars and sing.
See,
The Fields of Athenry was one of the main ones. You know, so typically you know.
That's a very Irish thing to do,
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, my dad is Irish ancestry. His dad's Irish.
Yeah.
He obviously was born in England.
Yeah.
And then moved over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's it.
that's cool, man. That was sweet.
It meant a lot because my dad's very sick at the moment.
Yeah.
So
How old's your dad?
my dad is 73.
73.
Yeah.
And he's in Ireland still. Yeah.
He's in
back
Ireland.
then.
He's living in Ireland. He's
Yeah.
he's in he's in the home that I grew up in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get back to see him either the middle of next month, fingers crossed, or the end of next month.
When things calm down a bit and all that. All right, Dan. Right, my last question for you.
Yeah.
Just imagine a world, right? The whole world as it stands now.
Do you want to swing around?
Do you want to, we come to the end of the road.
Yeah.
Tell you what. Probably the most spectacular setting I'll ever do one of these in.
It's cool, isn't it?
You know?
It's a shame. I should have brought you up there. It's insane, but the views probably aren't as good. But you can see all the way to the other islands. Up the top there, that windy
the
road.
zigzag path,
Yeah, at the top of that there's a stunning viewpoint if you go up there for the sunset sometime.
We'll do that next time. Okay, last question, Dan.
Yeah.
It's a biggie.
Yeah.
Not a personal one. It's just I want to hear what your answer is to this.
Yeah.
So the world. We have one government that rules. We have one government that rules the whole world.
Yeah.
Okay, democratically elected, all above board.
The world.
You can sing, right? And you're in charge of it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you're in charge of it.
Here, I'm going. You're not going to pay me enough to be in charge of the whole world. Like.
What is the one thing you do first to improve life for everybody on Earth?
What's all the beauty pageant says is world peace. Is that what they say? World peace and something like that running joke. You know the running joke. What would I do?
What would be the first thing?
I would allow everyone to, not communism, but at least everyone to have a decent amount of money in their lives that they can live comfortably without the stress in their lives. Everyone in the world, not just a select few people.
So you're socialist?
Actually, do you know what it is? I'm not a socialist, no, because I believe that people should have the right to earn more money through achievements. But unfortunately, at the moment, there's a small fraction of the world that have most of the money in the world. Yeah. And you're not going to get that out of them. So that needs to be ripped from their hands. But I don't believe in. I believe that people should, like, I'm entrepreneur. Yeah. That opens businesses. You know. Yeah. I work hard for that. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So I'm rewarded financially. Yeah. So, but people wouldn't be entrepreneurs if they were just earning the same as everyone else. So, no. So I think it's important to have.
You just want everyone to have a sort of base level.
Yeah, base level that people aren't stressed, that they're not worried about, you know, the heating. They're not worried about putting food in their mouth. I just think there shouldn't be any poverty in the world. No. Yeah, I just think it's just wrong. I mean, I don't know the solution to it, but I think would be definitely ripping all the money out of the 1% that have most of it, like, and changing the way money's controlled in the world. Yeah, that's probably where I would go. Bring more equality. Actually, remove all weapons from the world.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's like literally. There's no need.
Get you there.
There's literally no need for weapons. Why do we need weapons?
Some would say to keep things secure.
Secure from what?
Other weapons.
But like, so if no one has weapons,
there's no need to keep secure.
Well, no, there is, because there is bad people in the world that will want to rob you or whatever. But if there's no such thing as guns, there's no weapons, there's no bullets in the world, no one's getting shot, like. Yeah. But that's a very simple answer to a complex thing. So I you know, that's why I don't want to be the world leader. Just because of that, because I probably do it all wrong anyway. So
the way you're spreading your empire, mate, you never know.
I don't think so, mate. I think there's like, that's never going to be possible. But yeah.
That's all right. I've got one more question for you, if you don't mind. Here's one more. Right.
What's your favourite colour?
I want to come and live here at some point. When my youngest has grown up and flown a nest, gone to university, done whatever she's going to do, I want to come and live here. Would you employ somebody like me?
100%.
Oh, mate.
There you go.
Hey, after all those questions you asked, you say that?
The questions weren't tough, man. Honestly, the questions were, I was straight with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I had something to hide, then the questions would be tough.
They're not designed. These things, Tim will tell you, Rick will tell you, Webby did yesterday, they'll tell you, they're not tough questions. They're just questions, because the viewers know you, and the viewers are interested in you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many thousands of people on your channel.
Yeah.
Right. And in your case, the viewers love you.
Yeah.
But I know as a viewer, there's things. Rick calls it net curtains. There's things you don't always reveal, or you don't. Not that you don't reveal. You just don't think about talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like your dad singing.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that, but. You know, you've just never mentioned
Are you
that.
saying there's something wrong with my dad singing?
No, your dad's singing is great. It's better than yours. But it's things like that that I want to bring out in these interviews where people think, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I'd never known that. And tonight, I think you've done quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like, it's that, if I have something to hide, then it's going to be hard for me, but I have nothing really to hide.
No.
No reason. I mean, obviously, my tax returns,
Next question. No, listen, Dan, you've brought me to a fantastic location. This is beautiful up here.
Yeah, it's stunning, isn't it?
I know
That's the new road there is going to be built, by the way.
Is that where your quads are going?
No, but that's going to link the south to the north.
Oh, is it? Is that what
Yeah,
they're doing?
it's literally so you have nearly a motorway going the whole way around.
Oh, fair enough.
You know?
I know you said you didn't want to turn it into an advert, but you do have the companies.
Yeah.
Tenerife First Excursions.
Yeah.
TripAdvisor rated #1 for how many years running?
Traveller's Choice for the last 3 years running.
Superb.
Yeah.
And you've got the quads that you just started as well.
Yeah. Tenerife First Quads.
Tenerife First
That's
Quads.
us.
Yeah. Okay.
We're already up over 70 reviews.
Yeah.
All of them bar 2 are 5 stars.
Yeah. My Bournemouth people and the people who've never been to Tenerife, okay, if you're in the south of the island and you need anything like that, this is your man to come to. They are a great team. I've used them myself and I will continue to use them, because when you go in there, you're not treated as a customer, you're treated as a friend. And that sounds cliche, but it's true.
No, because we care. Because at the end of the day, I say to the team that you don't know who's coming through your door. You don't know how long they've saved to have this holiday. This could be a special first family holiday together. It could be the last holiday they have with their parents. You just don't know.
You don't know.
So you're creating memories. Make sure they're good ones. Make sure you look after the customers. Because at the end of the day, you're their link to something special that they might not forget for the rest of their lives, and you want it to be something good that they don't forget, not something bad.
No, that's a cracking ethic to have as a company like that. So yeah, use them, okay, and you won't regret it. Dan, thanks so much, mate.
Thank you, bro.
Absolute legend.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan the Craicmaster. I'll put all the links to everything he's got down below.
Keep it country, and if you get it,
Take it twice.
yuppie!
We should do it live. Should we go live?
I don't want to be incriminated.
I've got that much memory on my phone. Right, stop it. Okay, I am. What the fuck? The fucking old car in Tenerife pulls up as just about stuff. Okay, I am up in the mountains of Tenerife. I am in a village called Santiago.